Hello everyone, Dave here. Today I'm going to be doing just a flip through of the Ghosts of Salt Marsh book. This is the latest adventure to be coming out for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons. These books were sent to me by Wizards of the Coast, and if you watched the video where I opened up the package that these were in, this is taking place basically immediately following that, so this will actually be the first time I'm opening up the books as well. For the purposes of just, trying to keep the exclusive cover as pristine as possible, I will be flipping through the regular version here, but this will be my first time looking at the book, just as it will be, for I guess, probably not necessarily for you guys watching, but I haven't even opened up the cover yet. I'm recording this immediately afterwards, but it will be delayed for a little bit. However, if you're on my Patreon, then this will actually have been made available quite a bit in advance for individuals supporting me there. Anyway, let's just go ahead and open it up and sort of flip through it a little bit. That cover is really stiff. Okay, I want to be somewhat careful here. We got, looks like a Kuatoa petting a seal? Not a seal, maybe an otter. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Excuse me. So what this is it's a collection of adventures. This is sort of similar to Tales from the Yawning Portal, although while Tales from the Yawning Portal was themed around dungeon crawling, this is themed more around nautical type of adventures. So you've got a lot of coastal regions, or you got a lot of basically going on sailing ships or things along those lines. I do apologize, like I said, I am sort of at the tail end of a cold, so doing my best to not be affected by that, but let's just go ahead and flip through it here. So we got the table of contents, we have the different adventures that are involved with that. So we have The Sinister Secret of Salt Marsh, which was adventure, I believe, U1 back in the day. The Danger at Dunwater, I believe, was also adventure U-2, I think. I could be wrong on that. Then we have Salvage Operation, Isle of the Abbey, the Final Enemy. I think the Final Enemy was U3. And then you have Tamarot's Fate, The Styes. So what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7. Okay, so we have 7 different modules. Now I believe these are sort of put together in such a way to make them into one cohesive story. And I'm not going to be reading through anything. I'm just going to kind of show off some of the art. So let's just go ahead and hold the book. This is how I typically hold my books, so we're not going to be able to see quite everything. I'll just stretch my arm out so we can at least get a look at some of the art, which is pretty cool. And it's just some really nice artwork in here. So this first section is all about Salt Marsh itself. Now it also mentions the Scarlet Brotherhood, and so that's Greyhawk. So is this really set? I feel like this is set in Greyhawk. Running the Adventures. Anyway, just kind of interesting to see what we have there. And so yeah, the Scarlet Brotherhood is definitely, I think that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, because the Arcane Brotherhood was the other one from the Forgotten Realms. Yeah, so the Scarlet Brotherhood, the Sul Imperium. Yeah, this is actually the actual Greyhawk lore. So that's pretty cool. We have the map of Salt Marsh itself. And just some information on it. Buying and selling magic items. Downtime activities. The region. This is sort of an old hex map. That's actually pretty cool. I like that. Reminds me of the old module days. And backgrounds. Okay, so it just sort of goes over how some of the backgrounds might fit. It also gives you the Fisher background. Marine. Okay, Shipwright. So there's actually some pretty cool So there's actually some pretty cool new background stuff in here, which is nice. Sinister Secret of Salt Marsh. We have about the original down here. So yeah, that's U1. And we have our maps. Now these are the sort of like hand-drawn style that we've been seeing since Waterdeep Dragon Heist, and I know that it's sort of a situation where there's mixed feelings about it, but personally, you know, I think it suits a product like this a little bit better than maybe something like Waterdeep Dragon Heist, just because this is a collection of modules, and the maps back then would have looked pretty, you know, similar to this. So, you know, for me, that's okay. I don't mind. And there is some nice colored art in here. And I really did sort of warm up to the map style after my initial sort of shock, I guess, in seeing it. Then we have the Danger at Dunwater. So this is, I believe this was module U-2, or U2, which we got there. Alright. And actually the U-series modules are ones that I've never actually read through before. I'd heard of them, particularly the Sinister Secret of Salt Marsh I'd heard about anyway, at least to recognize it by title. So for me, I'll be sort of reading these modules for the first time. They do have they do have the Sinister Secret of Salt Marsh available as a print-on-demand item through DM's Guild. So it'll be sort of interesting to... I do want to get that at some point. We got Salvage Operations, so this was from Dungeon Magazine, and it just shows sort of like the cover art here. So 3 of the 4 Dungeon Magazine adventures, I do actually have the proper adventure for. So I might be able to actually compare them directly. There was another one, and I forget the name of it right off the top of my head, but it involved like the Isle of the Abbey or something like that. But it was from like it was in the 1990s. It was like the 2nd edition era for Dungeon Magazine. So I don't have that one. There we go. Actually, the Isle of the Abbey. We got it right here. So this was from Dungeon issue number 34. So, and I didn't start collecting until like into the issue numbers were in the 90s, but it was in the 2000s. So again, some pretty cool stuff here. Oh. So we're just going to go through and some cool artwork, and that's just basically we're just looking at the actual book itself. The final enemy is module U3 from 1983, which was a good year. Fortress level. Okay, just again some really nice artwork actually. Looks like a 2-headed shark, which, I mean, it probably seemed silly back then, but there's like all these movies now about like 2-headed shark attack and just stuff like that, so yeah. Alright, let's just keep going through. So like I said, we got the maps, the artwork. The final enemy actually seems to be a pretty lengthy module compared to some of the other ones. We got Tamarot's Fate. And yeah, it just shows the front page from the issue. So that's exactly what it looked like in the magazine. Didn't even have any artwork back then. The artwork would have been, I think, on either the opposite page or something like that. So it will be cool to sort of compare these as well. It is a bit unfortunate that the module entitled The Final Enemy is taking place in the middle and not modified to be like the actual, you know, final one. The Styes was sort of an interesting module from Dungeon Magazine. I don't remember a ton about it, but I know that it was kind of a super gross area in terms of like some of the artwork and stuff. And it looks like the artwork I want to say that the artwork is lifted right from the magazine. I don't want to like declare that too. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the artwork was taken directly from the magazine. And I mean, Wizards of the Coast owns the property, so it's not like it's them stealing or anything. It's their artwork. But yeah, okay. So yeah, the artwork I can at least confirm from this adventure is 100% was 100% taken from the magazine. So here we have ships of the sea. So the keel boats. One square is 5 feet. Longship keel boat. No, that's not a keel boat. Main deck, lower deck. That must be the galley. Alright, oop. So that must be the galley. Then we got the longship and the keel boat. So the art must be sailing ship. The warship. Oh. Ship upgrades, okay. So there's like dragon sails. Must make them immune to certain energy types being made from like dragon hide. So that seems kind of interesting. And a nice little bit of artwork in here. Hazards, crew conflicts. Okay, some nice stuff here. Fire checks, fog for affecting navigation, ocean environs, so blue holes, coral reefs, currents, depth, the kelp forests, whirlpools, shipwrecks. Okay. Random name generator for ships. Encounter charts. Attitude and race. Finding, like, I guess, new locations. And Worshippers of Kururu Shiddup. That's gotta be Kuatoa. Oh, yeah. Sea Hag. Some, yeah, and it just looks like some encounter sites as well. Just to do sort of your own stuff with. That's actually pretty cool. It gives you some stuff to do maybe in between. The Deep Scion. Then we got some new magic some new magic items. And some NPCs. We got the Assassin Vine, the Bard, the Bodak, some Bullywugs, Deep Scion, Drowned Assassin, Juvenile Kraken, like piranhas, Kraken Priest. Oh, maybe that's a Locath. Yeah, that's probably what that is. Anyway, it's just some cool stuff in here. So, like, so this is a flip through. It's my first time flipping through, so if I fell silent a little bit, it's just because I was sort of trying to take everything in. But this looks interesting, I have to admit. So we got some cool adventures in there, which is pretty nice. Looks like it gives you some encounter sites that you can use to create your own encounters, which is something that I think is also kind of neat. Probably gives you some stuff to sort of fill in the gaps in between adventures if you wanted to, or if you just wanted to pick and choose, like cherry pick the actual like adventures themselves to put into your own campaign, which I think is going to be one of the strengths of this kind of book. It was one of the things that I really liked about Tales from the Yawning Portal, even if I didn't find the name quite suited to the contents of the adventure. I think that the collection of modules in of itself is something that I find to be just way more interesting. because you can do your own stuff, and you can also, you know, cherry pick some of these modules and throw them in as well, so that you're not necessarily stuck following one singular story throughout the entirety of your character's careers, which, you know, happens with the larger modules, and to an extent it has to, and I understand that. But I like the idea of having, even if it's once every couple of years, to have one of these style of books. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's going to be some really cool stuff in here. I can't wait to actually sit down and read it properly. And like I said, this will probably end up being the source of some adventures that I want to run for a new group. So anyway, I want to thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And as always, I'll see you next time. Take care.